Hey everyone, Shanté Kumar here. Thank you so much for joining me for this Sunday's inspiration. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a really cool treat. It's a way to use the model. And when it's one of those, those should I stay or should I go now kind of deals, when you're feeling stuck between choosing between those two opposite modes of action, and this was a way of using the model that was given to me during a coaching call that I was a part of, and I just found it so helpful in assisting me that I really wanted to share with you guys. Now, the example that I'm going to show is actually how I used it, and it does pertain to a career or like a job change or anything like that. And so you can actually use it though with other things. So for example, where you see career, you can change that and input relationship instead, or you could input a change of location, like if you wanted to buy a house or not to buy a house, that would be what you could put in as well. So that's how you can use it. Like I said though, we're going to use career because that's how I recently used it, and that's how I found it to be really helpful. So we have our 5 domains of the model, which are C, the circumstance, T, the thought, F, the feelings, A, the action, and R, the result of all of that, right? So the circumstance in this case would be a career. If you wanted to change a career or a job. In your thought, you'll put the reasons to stay. Now, this is key. You might have many, many thoughts about why you should stay. Each of those thoughts are actually their own model. Okay, so if you have like 5 really good reasons why you should stay in your current job or relationship, or, in your current house, why you should stay, and bunker down in the house and not move, not buy, then those would each one of those would have their own model, their own CTFAR done on them. Okay, so I really wanted you guys to understand that. That's how deep this work goes. Because you look at and you examine every single thought and all the feelings associated with them. And the feelings, may be similar, but they may not be the same. For example, if you're feeling frustrated and annoyed, those feelings are very distinct. Now, they could be a little similar. They may occur at the same time, but they're not the same thing, right? So it's really important, and making sure you take out every single thought really helps you hone in on the feelings associated with the thought. Because remember, it's really our feelings that are the driving force for everything. It's our feelings that really help us tie in memory. For example, if you think about it, your memory is really just an emotional and energetic impression of a past event. So if you didn't really have a strong emotional tie or a strong emotional reaction to the event that had occurred, it's likely that's why you don't remember it. Think about it. Most of the time, most people don't remember things that happened to them when they're younger, unless it's something really important. It was something huge. It was major. It was something that really kind of showed, a complete distinction from the day to day. That's why feelings are super important. So A would be the actions, the things that you would then do, which would be to decide to stay. That would be your action line. And then the result of that. So conversely, on the other side, then, if it was career or relationship or, buying a house, not to buy, this side would be buying, right? Because you would be leaving your new house. T would be the reasons to leave that situation. And again, each one of those would have their own model, and you put out all the feelings associated with leaving. Are you excited? Are you scared? Are you nervous? Are you apprehensive? See how a lot of those, especially the last 3, were very similar, but they're very different. And they could actually go with a different thought. So that's why it's so important that you separate all those thoughts out. And A would be your action, which would be to decide to leave. Okay, to decide to go forward with leaving the situation. And R would be the result of that. So make sure you, write that down somewhere. Trust and believe. It is life. Seriously, it really helps to just clear things up for you, and that's what it's all about. It's all about letting you see how your mind works, so then you can see how you can direct your mind, and have it go down the avenues that are actually going to help you get to what you want. First, you have to know where you're at to know where you want to go. And if you're not paying attention to where you're at, then you have no idea where you've been, y'all. I'm just saying. So, now, in addition, I have some really awesome questions that also help to hone in onto who you need to be. Because remember, I was saying before, it's all about who you want to be, who you are coming from, how you are expressing yourself, how you're embodying yourself in life. That is what you attract to you. True story. I recently had an interaction, and the interaction I see now was totally what I needed. And it's something that I called to me, even though it's something I really didn't want. I had a fear of this thing happening, like a little deep, like in your bones fear, like I cried about it, kind of fear of this thing happening. And guess what? It straight up happened. So fearing it didn't stop it at all. Matter of fact, it brought it right up close in front and made me confront it, is what it did. It gave me the opportunity to choose to continue to live in fear of that fear or not. Now, I'm still working on all that, but better believe I chose to not. I heard a really good quote the other day, and it was saying, I choose for my soul to be free and alive. And I'm like, yes, I do. So I'm going to choose what that feels like. Free and alive sounds really good to me. Really sweet and juicy stuff. Freedoms and alivenesses. So let's get to the questions so that you guys can get on with your day. So the first one is, who are you without your job? And again, you can substitute that with relationship. Who are you without your current house? Maybe you realize you need to downsize, but you got used to having a really big house, right? Who are you without your really big house? And who do you desire to be without that job, your career, without that the status that comes with whatever car you have, or whatever house you have, or whatever clothes you have, or your relationship? And number 3, who is the identity you want to step into and embody now? So make sure you guys write those down, because that right there, if you get nothing else from anything I say, this'll do ya. Now, so that's it for me, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this Sunday's inspiration. If you did, great. Let me know. Also, let me know what worked for you the most, what you got out of it the most. That would be very helpful for me, so I know what to keep bringing up. Also, I did want to share with you that I have a great opportunity for those of you who really want to go deep into understanding the cycle and patterns of your relationships, because most of us don't realize that our relationships tend to go through a certain cycle or patterns. This is for all relationships, our ones with our parents, our children, our partners, our friends, acquaintances. If you think and start to look at your different relationships, you'll start to see some similar patterns show up. And there's a reason for this. And most of those patterns, unfortunately, are not healthy and they're not beneficial. And they end up causing a lot of strife, a lot of heartache, a lot of times these relationships end up faltering and failing. And it's because of these 4 love lies that we have been told while we were growing up. And these love lies have been secretly influencing how we feel and how we think about ourselves and about relationships. And once we uncover this love lie, then we can start to see how it has influenced us. And then we learn how to, in fact, invert it. And you do that by learning about the truth about the situation, the truth about the lie. And I'm going to go into all of that during my free workshop. It's next Saturday, February 27th, 2021. And it is from 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please just be aware, you'll be getting some more information about it. I'll be sharing a link with this email as well. So go ahead and check it out to register for it. Like I said, it is free. And I know that the information that you're going to receive is beyond compare, but even better is how you're going to feel, because I'm all about the experience. It's all about how you embody this stuff, right? I was talking the other time about wisdom. You can get all the knowledge in the world. You can read every book. You know, you can listen to every podcast. You can watch every YouTube video. That's great. That's a lot of knowledge. That's wonderful. But that doesn't necessarily equal wisdom. Okay, it's when you start to actually embody that which you have read, that which you have learned, and you know it cellularly. That is when you know something, babies. And that's what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about getting to really know the most important person in the world, who is you. Knowing you means that you will know everything else, right? To thine own self be true, and you must know you. Until you have working knowledge and understanding of your own self, there is no way, shape, or how you are going to be able to understand and really get along with other people. It's just not possible. So come on and do that with me next weekend. I'll be looking forward to seeing you there. Go ahead and click that link that is below. It is www.gracefulliving.net. And thank you so much for allowing me in this space with you. I love you all so very much. Namaste. Mwah.